he didn't make you his girlfriend, if he didn't do right by you then, he's not going to do right by you now. And he shouldn't have the opportunity to do right by you. No second chances when it comes to your heart. Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click the subscribe button because I promise you're going to love it here. Let's cut straight to the point. I feel like we've all been in situationships before. A situationship is basically someone getting boyfriend, girlfriend treatment without being your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So they're getting all this stuff without having to be committed. Basically, they get boyfriend, girlfriend privileges without having to commit with us. And I don't think we understand how toxic and heartbreaking that can be, because I've been in plenty of situationships. I've been in more situationships than relationships in my life. And I really feel like getting over a situationship is more heartbreaking than getting over an actual breakup, because at least with a breakup, the clarity is knowing that you guys were together, so you don't feel bad about being sad over it. But I feel like with situationships, when it's over, like we are like scared to be judged of even feeling sad about it, because it's like, why did you even let it get to that point? We're scared of people judging us, thinking like, why would you even allow that without commitment? But I want you guys to understand that you guys are not alone. More people have been in situationships than you think. A lot of people are in situationships now. That's pretty much the whole culture. It's just situationship culture when you really, really think about it, because a lot of these men aren't being loyal anyways. So you're basically in a situationship. And right now I'm in that phase of my life where I'm really trying to get over situationships that I've had in my life and really let them go completely. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to let go of a person that you've never dated. Exit your delusional girl era, because we're not being in that anymore. We're not being delusional girls anymore. It's either you dated me or not. It's either you like me or you don't. No in between, no having me guess. Either you like me or you don't. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. We have to let go of that delusional mindset, thinking of what it could have been, and understand what it was. 9 times out of 10, a lot of the situationships that we are in are straight up what it is. Situationships, meaning we're begging for this person's attention. We're begging for this person to commit to us, and they just won't. Sometimes our brain thinks that it's something that it's not. Especially when we're out of it. When we're out of it, we're thinking, oh, like we were in love. When it's like, no sis, this person did not want to commit to you. This person did not want to do right by you. This person didn't even respect you enough to give you a title. I had to tell myself that when I really told myself, yo, this person didn't even respect me enough to cuff me. Why am I over here reminiscing on something that really does not need to be reminisced over? It actually needs to be detoxed out my body. I saw this quote on TikTok that really resonated with me. Never go back to who hurt you, because in their absence, your brain convinced you that the nightmares they once gave you are now sweet memories. And that resonated with me so much, because I'm like, yo, that's exactly what I did. So story time, mini story time. A person that I was in an on and off situationship throughout my life has been coming back around, trying to get back around me. And I've been kind of like, feeling it out. I felt myself about to let them back in until I really realized, oh my goodness, like throughout the whole time I was talking to them back in the day, I was feeling not worthy enough. My self-esteem was low because they never committed to me. I was feeling like I wasn't good enough, and I was questioning myself. I was constantly comparing myself to other women. And sometimes our brain forgets everything that we went through with that person because we're missing a feeling that we thought we had, when in reality it was never that. It's no in between. That person either did right by you or that person did wrong by you. And I had to really realize that. We think that, oh, love's supposed to hurt, like, oh, that's just a part of our love story. Especially with me, I thought since I have history with people, then that means that they need to stay around, especially intimacy. Like, I'm thinking, okay, since I had history with that person, that's a part of love. Especially when you come from that. Like, my parents have been married for 28 years, so I found myself searching for that. I found myself wanting somebody that I've had since I was younger and just going with them, and that makes you kind of just thug it out and stick with them through everything. No matter how bad they treat you, you think that it's going to change. You think that one day maybe we'll be married. One day maybe he'll see that I'm good enough to be committed to. When it's like, no, like, they're telling you exactly how they feel about you. My mom always told me, never let a man show you that they don't want you more than once. And that's so true, because it's like this person is constantly showing you that they don't respect you enough to make it official, to even like step the foot and take some sort of commitment. Anybody who won't commit to you does not want you that bad. And once I realized that, I'm like, what am I reminiscing over? Reminiscing over heartbreak? No, we're not doing that. So really, really stop fantasizing and romanticizing what it could have been, and tell yourself what it was. Go back through time if you have to. Tell yourself exactly what it was, because I promise you, more than likely, it was not some fairy tale love story that we want it to be. Ask yourself would your new version of you even like this person? I had to do that too, because I'm like, this is a person I messed with when I was like young, a teenager. Would my 21-year-old self even connect with them now? Sometimes we want them to see, when it's like, no, if God didn't want them a part of your life, then they're just not a part of your life, and somebody better will come along. So you have to let go of that mindset of wanting it to be something so bad. Let it go and just let it flow. The longer it takes us to get over something, the more power it holds on you. And most of the time when you were in that situationship, the other person held the power because they're the ones who told you it was a situationship. We're not out here just wanting to be in a situationship with no type of commitment. Come on now. Like, we want commitment no matter how much we try to tell ourselves that, oh, we didn't want that. We wanted that from that person, rightfully so. And our brain, a little bit of us, our brain that when we were still messing with them is still there telling us that we want that from them. We still want that attention from them. We still want that approval from them. So we want them to see. I found myself doing that too. I was like, I just want this person to see me now. I just want them to see how I am now and see how much I've changed. When it's like, do they really deserve that at the end of the day anyways? And would I like them now? The ball is in your court now. Especially if they came back to you, the ball is in your court. Take that and run with it. Don't go back. Exercise self-control and cut them off completely. I'm going to give you guys another mini story on why you should not go back to anybody who hurt you in your past. So, a few months ago, actually, I had went back to somebody that I was dealing with when I was in college, kind of, and it was always a situationship, and I always wanted to be like his girl. I always wanted him to make it official with me, so I was fighting for his attention, all of that, and I was young. So he recently reached back out to me about a few months ago, and I fell for it, and I went back. I found out that he was living with his girlfriend, living with a whole girlfriend. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. He was wholeheartedly living with her. That broke my heart so much, and I was back at square one. But that's not all. I was also in a car accident. Rewind. The main reason why I was in a car accident is because I went out thinking that he was going to be at the place. Basically, I only went out that night because I wanted to see him. I went out in hopes of him being there, seeing him. I don't even like going out. My spirit was telling me, don't go out. It was Halloween night. My spirit was telling me, don't go out this night. Don't go out. I went out. I got in a car accident. I fractured my cheek. I told you guys about this. Maybe I'll do a story time on it in more depth. Maybe I fractured my cheekbone. I fractured my eye socket. All of that because I was trying to chase after this boy who was living with a girl just because I wanted his attention that badly. And that's not even all. When I was in the hospital, he was there after the accident. He was in the car behind us. So we were following each other going somewhere. When I was in the hospital, he left me at the hospital anyways. His friends came, dropped him at the hospital. He dipped. He left. He said, oh, we gotta go. Left in a hurry. So, you know how much that broke my heart? That broke everything in me to think that this person that I let back in is still the same person that they were. So I promise you, I'm not trying to be too hard on you guys and tell you guys don't have hope. But if that person was who they were back then, they're the same person, just in a different form. The same exact person, just older. So the situation is going to be the same, but maybe even worse. Don't go back. You'll be setting yourself back so far. You made so much progress. Why go back to somebody who hurt you? It's not worth it. And sis, when I say cut off access, I mean cut off access, meaning they don't need to be seeing you. We thinking, oh, we're not texting back, we cut off access. No, if you're not healed from it completely, you might even have to block them. I had to block the guy that I was just recently talking about when I was in a car accident. I blocked him on everything because it triggered me that bad. I had to block him, I had to block his girlfriend. I did not want to see it because I found myself going back to it, trying to see it all the time, posting just for his attention, even though we weren't talking. I just wanted him to see me. Block it if you have to. If they did you that bad, they don't even deserve to see you. And why would you want them to have access to the healed you? 9 times out of 10, we look a lot better than we did back then. Body look better than it did back then. We're just on a whole new level. Do they deserve to see that version of us? Do they deserve to be around that version of us? I had to really think about that. Like, he didn't even deserve to have access to this new version of me. So I'm telling you guys this to not make that mistake. Don't do it. They don't deserve it at all. Who are they? I know that's kind of tough love because it's in our human nature to want to impress, especially someone who rejects us in the past. We want them to see so bad, but sometimes it's more detrimental than it is. Going against what God wants for you in your life is very detrimental. Take that car accident story I gave you guys into key when you think about going back to that person. I could have lost my life chasing behind somebody who just was not for me because I wanted that person to care so much. Don't do it. Sometimes it's detrimental. You'll be getting a new version of them that could be way worse than it was back then. People don't change without consequences. Why you think that person would change if they didn't get any major consequences? People don't change if they don't want to. If he didn't make you his girlfriend, if he didn't do right by you then, he's not going to do right by you now. And he shouldn't have the opportunity to do right by you. No second chances when it comes to your heart. Don't compare yourself with the people they were with before you or after you. This will just take you back into that mindset of constantly having to compete and compare yourself, and that will set you back ×2 also. If you're like in your self-love journey, especially trying to heal from it, comparing yourself to who they talked to before to who they talk to now will just make it worse. And sometimes we'll see that they're giving a next person what we always wanted from them. They're giving the next person commitment. They're giving the next person love and attention. They're showing the next person off, and they didn't do that for us. So we'll feel away when also not everything is what it seems. So it could be looked at as that, but they're just doing something completely different. And also some things are just not for us. Like that story time with the car accident where he had a whole girlfriend cheating on her. Mind you, like cheating badly, so badly, like probably still cheating. And I wanted to be with this person back in the day. It's a blessing that I'm not with him. That could be me living with him while you're out cheating, paying the bills while you're out cheating. You know, I'm not even trying to put all his business on blast, but you know, that could have been me. And I see how God works in my life. God didn't want that for me. And sometimes it takes for you to go through certain situations to see why God just didn't want that for you. And trust me, don't go through it. Don't go through the phase of having to see why God didn't want it for you, and just know that God did not want that for you. Do not go back. Do not go back, sis. The biggest revenge is bossing up, doing what you have to do for you, and becoming the best version of yourself. Not for them, but for you. Who cares if he realizes that he's missing out or not? Who cares if he's getting his karma? That was my thing too. I wanted this person to get their karma so bad. I just wanted to see, like, will he get his karma? Like, will he get his karma for treating me like this? When it's just, you have to just know that everybody gets theirs. You don't even have to wish it. That's not even up to us. That's not our decision. We just know that we are blessed throughout it all. We're going to elevate throughout it all. It doesn't matter how bad they did you. They are going to get theirs back. We just have to move and elevate. It's up to you to just not go back to it. If you need to cry, cry, but don't soak in it. Cry a few times and let it go. Something that really helped me was journaling out how I felt. I look at old journal entries from years ago from when I was dealing with certain people, and it helps me remember how bad they did me, to where it's like I don't even want to go back to them. I don't even want to ever feel that way again. And it kind of helps you realize how to move with the next person. So now we know that the next person that comes along, we're not going to go for the certain stuff that we was going for then. If they can't commit to you, if they can't do what you, the bare minimum, then they have to go. They're not worth it. They're not even worth your tears for too long. Cause you'll look up and you'll be crying and sad over it for years, and they're out living their life. Their life has moved on. They've been through 4 different girls since you. You know, we're still stuck on this one person. So don't do it. Don't soak and wallow in it. Cry once, but let it go. Like I said, remember how I always say, feel all the emotions you need to feel, but let that go. Somebody who wasn't willing to do right by you is not worth your tears, sis. So that was the end of today's video. We are exiting our delusional girl era. I see a lot online like, oh, that's my man. Stuff like when he doesn't show you a lot of attention, but you still want him. We should not normalize that. Let's normalize seeing that someone doesn't like us and that be a turnoff. We don't want to go towards people that don't like us. And I know a lot of times that could be like, you know, daddy issues. We all have like issues from growing up, like not getting enough attention growing up. That was my issue. Growing up, I felt like I didn't get a lot of attention from male figures in my life. So I was looking for that in other men. And I realized that that's just going to attract constant emotional, unavailable men. And it's just going to repeat the cycle over and over onto my kids, my grandkids. So I want to start the cycle right and be with a man that's emotionally available so he can be like that for my kids. You know, if he's not willing to commit to me, there's a lot of stuff he won't commit to. He won't commit to being a father. He won't commit to, you know, it's a bunch of stuff that this all goes into. This plays out into like how they're going to treat their family. In 2024, we are letting go of that situationship. I know it's hard. We all have our favorite man that we always go back to. We just can't seem to let them go. But they was never anything. It was like a fling that we just can't let go. We're letting go. We're letting it go and we're elevating. Because trust me, as soon as you let it go, the blessing's going to come rolling in. The blessing's just going to come boom, 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 boom. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.